Let me tell you a story. A story about a man who was told, no, more times than most people even try. A story about rejection, failure, and unimaginable perseverance. A story that reminds us that success isn't about where you start, it's about how far you're willing to go. His name is Jack Ma, the man who was rejected 30 times, and still became the billionaire founder of Alibaba, one of the largest companies on earth. Jack Ma was born in 1964 in Hangzhou, China. Back then, his family had nothing. They weren't rich, they weren't powerful, and they certainly didn't have connections. In fact, they were considered among the lower class. But what this young boy had was curiosity, courage, and an unshakable spirit. He was fascinated by the world, by people, by stories, by languages. As a teenager, he would ride his bicycle 17 miles every morning to a nearby hotel, just to talk to foreign tourists so he could practice English. Think about that. A kid from a poor family, waking up before sunrise every day, not for money, not for grades, not because someone told him to, but because he wanted to learn. For 9 long years, he did this. Day after day, through cold mornings and rainy days, with no guarantee of any reward. That's how greatness begins, quietly, persistently, with a hunger to grow. But the road ahead wasn't smooth. Jack Ma's story is not a fairy tale. It's a fight against rejection, against failure, and against the odds. When he finished school, he failed his college entrance exam not once, not twice, but 3 times. 3 times the system told him he wasn't good enough. 3 times he was reminded that dreams don't always fit inside society's rules. But he refused to give up. He kept trying, because deep inside he knew, failure isn't the opposite of success, it's the path that leads to it. After graduation, Jack started applying for jobs. He applied to 30 different places, and every single one rejected him. 30 times he was told, no. 30 times he was told he didn't qualify, didn't fit in, didn't have what it takes. When KFC opened in China, 24 people applied for jobs. 23 were hired. The only one rejected was Jack Ma. Imagine that moment. Everyone else gets accepted, and you're the only one left behind. Most people would give up. Most people would start believing that maybe they're not good enough. But Jack? He smiled. He said, someday, I'll make myself so good that they'll regret saying no. And that's what he did. In 1995, Jack Ma went to the United States as a translator. There, for the first time, he saw something called the Internet. It was slow, messy, and nothing like today. but it opened his mind to a whole new world. He searched for beer and saw results from America, Germany, Japan, but nothing from China. It struck him deeply. China, he thought, has 1.2 billion people. How can we not be online? That single moment changed his life forever. He realized the future was digital, and that China needed to be part of it. He went back home and started his first internet venture, China Yellow Pages. It failed completely. Most people around him laughed. They said, "Jack, you don't understand technology. You don't even know how to code. Why are you wasting your time?" But Jack didn't see failure, he saw feedback. He said, "If you don't give up, you still have a chance." Giving up is the greatest failure. In 1999, he gathered 17 of his friends in his small apartment. They didn't have fancy offices, they didn't have investors, they didn't even have proper internet speed. But they had belief. They decided to build an online platform that would connect Chinese manufacturers with global buyers. That platform would be called Alibaba. Jack told his friends, "We're going to make it easier for small businesses to sell to the world." They believed in him, even when no one else did. The first few years were brutal. Nobody trusted online transactions in China. The internet was new, and people were skeptical. Banks refused to work with them. Competitors laughed at them. But Jack kept going. He told his team, "We are the last man standing. If we don't die, we'll win." He built Alibaba on a simple principle: customers first, employees second, and shareholders third. Because he knew if you take care of people, the profits will follow. Jack Ma was never the smartest person in the room. He often said, "If you want to be successful, hire people smarter than you." He didn't need to know everything. He needed to inspire others to give their best. He became the kind of leader who didn't just command, he believed, encouraged, and empowered. That's why people followed him, even when the future was uncertain. There came a time when Alibaba was on the brink of collapse. The company had no money, no revenue, and no trust from investors. But Jack's confidence never wavered. He told his team, "We will survive because we believe." And survive they did. Alibaba rose from being a small startup to a global e-commerce empire that changed how the world does business. When the company went public on the New York Stock Exchange in 2014, it became the largest IPO in history, worth over $25 billion. The man who was rejected 30 times had built one of the most powerful companies in the world. But Jack's success was never just about money. He didn't measure life by wealth or luxury. He measured it by impact. He once said, "If you want to be successful, learn to help others. If you want to be great, help millions." He believed success was never about personal gain, but about serving others. That's why he dedicated himself to education and entrepreneurship, empowering young people around the world to believe in their dreams, no matter how impossible they seem. Jack Ma taught us that the world doesn't owe you success. You have to earn it through persistence, humility, and courage. He showed us that rejection isn't a wall, it's a test. Every "no" you hear is just an invitation to try again. Every failure is just a lesson disguised as pain. He once said, "Today is hard, tomorrow will be worse, but the day after tomorrow will be sunshine." Most people give up on the first or second day. They quit before the sunshine arrives. But Jack never stopped believing. And that's why he succeeded. Think about your own life for a moment. How many times have you been told, "No"? How many times have you been rejected, ignored, or doubted? Maybe you didn't get that job. Maybe your idea failed. Maybe people laughed at your dream. But remember, every successful person you admire was once rejected too. The difference is, they didn't stop. Rejection is not a verdict. It's a filter. It separates those who want it casually from those who want it deeply. Jack Ma wanted it deeply. And that's what made him unstoppable. So, when life tells you, "No," don't let it break you. Let it build you. Let every rejection sharpen your resolve. Let every failure fuel your hunger. Don't chase success. Chase purpose. Because when you live with purpose, success will follow naturally. Jack Ma's journey reminds us that you don't need to be born rich, connected, or gifted. You just need to be relentless. You need to believe that even if the world laughs at you today, one day, they'll quote your story as an example of perseverance. So, my friend, if you're facing rejections right now, if you're doubting your worth, if the world seems against you, remember this. Even the man who created Alibaba, the billionaire entrepreneur loved around the world, was once just a rejected kid from Hangzhou who refused to quit. Your failures don't define you. Your rejections don't define you. What defines you is how you rise every time life knocks you down. The difference between ordinary and extraordinary is persistence. Keep going, even when it hurts. Keep believing, even when no one else does. Keep showing up, even when you feel unseen. Because the world only rewards those who stay long enough to see the sunrise after the storm. Jack Ma turned rejection into revolution. He proved that the human spirit is stronger than circumstance. And so can you. This is your time, your moment, your chance to unlock your true potential. Don't wait for someone to choose you. Choose yourself. Don't wait for opportunity. Create it. Don't be afraid of rejection. Be afraid of regret. Because someday, when you look back, you'll realize every no brought you closer to the greatest yes of your life. So, stand tall, dream bold, work relentlessly, and remember, success doesn't come to those who never fail. It comes to those who never give up. Jack Ma didn't, and neither should you.